we are like 95 to 98 to 99% sure that Trump will quite literally never face any consequences for sicking a mob on the Capitol full of, Facebook radicalized dads and
Mr. Show actors.
deniers. What?
And Mr. Show actors.
Mr. Show actors, exactly. And like keyboard scarf ladies and like martyrs, obviously.
Sure, heroes. Yeah.
R.I.P. Ashley Babbitt. Because special counsel Jack Smith, who was appointed to investigate this, has basically asked for the judge to drop the case. Now, there's caveats. Some legal scholars are saying, but there's a door left open. Let's look at that door.
We're gonna get him.
We just time out. Look, he might have won the battle, but we'll win the war on ourselves. The judge overseeing Donald Trump's election interference case dismissed the case Monday after special counsel Jack Smith asked the judge, again, this is Tanya Chutkin, to toss the case due to a long-standing Justice Department policy that bars the prosecution of a sitting president. Because, that's democracy. We would, but now he's the most powerful man ever.
I'm shocked that this is how the legal system works in this country.
Wild.
Yeah.
Smith earlier Monday filed a motion to dismiss the case, as well as the appeal of Trump's classified documents case ahead of Trump's impending inauguration due to the DOJ's presidential immunity policy and not because the charges lacked merit. So he was like, these are real, but right. I can't go after a president, which somehow makes him a hero. No.
Yeah. Home base. He's on home base.
Right.
You can't tag him.
Exactly.
It's insane.
He touched home. Donald Trump touched home. So Chutkin dismissed the election interference charges against Trump without prejudice, leaving open the highly unlikely possibility of a future prosecution. So that's what without prejudice means. It means, quote, as she wrote, dismissal without prejudice is also consistent with the government's understanding that the immunity afforded a sitting president is temporary, expiring when they leave office. But according to ABC News, that's extremely unlikely that any prosecutor would attempt to bring the same charges in the future, in part because of the statute of limitations for alleged crimes will have expired by the time Trump leaves office in 4 years.
It's good to know that the statute of limitations for a coup expires.
Exactly.
That's cool. I'll file that away.
Well, we're going to talk about Joe Biden and all the crimes he can commit before he leaves office. Before we leave this show. So maybe we'll talk about that then. But when this happened, James, when January 6th happened, where were you? Where were you? What were you doing? Do you remember?
I was home. It was still it was still no
pandemic.
One was working. Yeah. So I was home and just this is really happening. This is wild, just in shock. And then on Twitter with everyone else.
Right. So when I meant to pull this video, but I don't have it, but you can go see it on my social media. But I was filming this random YouTube series for AMC at the time, which was, it was some offshoot shit. And it was completely not political. But as I was there, I got the notifications and they actually filmed me reacting to it. And I found that footage. And the thing that I said at the time when I saw it was, number one, this is what happens when you soft pedal a white nationalist.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, are we going to have to forget that this happened?
Oh, yeah.
And for a while there, it was maybe not, hundreds of people have faced charges over their actions on January 6th. People are serving prison sentences for that. Donald Trump obviously is saying he will, absolve them or release them or whatever, that give him a new hearing, etc. But by and large, we will have to forget that this just happened.
Oh yeah, because it was coming just after the George Floyd protest too, the BLM protest, and they made us forget that happened too. I realized we were screwed the second they made it all just about how scared they were personally during that day.
Right.
I'm this isn't about some bigger thing. This isn't about civil unrest. This isn't how could we get here as a nation? It's about, the people in power were a little scared for a day about violence in their workplace, which tell me about that.
Right.
I work out of school now. We have drills.
Absolutely. 100. No, that's exactly right. It's because the violence that he had been stoking for 4 years
Yeah.
and longer finally came for them, that they were like, "Oh shit, we need to take that seriously," and they still couldn't even do that. We know that Merrick Garland slow walked this for many dumbass reasons, and, he could have faced some music before. I'm not saying, but ultimately, the entire political establishment, forget Republicans, but, the sort of the DOJ, the deep state effectively, that needs to be gutted. Don't worry, the deep state has done fucking gutted itself. The deep
Yeah.
state has taken a fish hook to its stomach and is like, I die, I forfeit. Because that's effectively what this was. It was the Department of Justice being unable, and Congress being unable, to hold Donald Trump, the guy who did this. Because here's the thing: if Donald Trump doesn't get held accountable, I don't think that the people who did shit that day should be either.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, you need to go after the low level people. Let's go after the actual one who
But we
stoked
never do
it.
that with crimes in this country,
100%. And
Yeah.
so, this is my whole thing whenever like resistance libs put their faith in the fucking justice system,
Right.
or in the case of Russia, which I do, there was collusion. I'm not going to go Maddow about it, but the
Right.
fact that you're like, "Oh, Robert Mueller's going to save us." Robert Mueller is a fucking former FBI head, career
Yep.
Republican. The dude found all this evidence and was like, "But at the end of the day, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
sitting president." Shut the fuck up. I'm so
Oh, yeah.
mad.
They're also they're the party that the Democrats have to abide by every rule and norm
Yeah.
for the sake
Oh,
of
yeah. Oh,
unity and
what would
the
the Senate
illusion of a
parliamentarian
democracy.
say?
Right, right, right.
I
And then
mean, and
act
that's
like
the
we're a
other.
fucking democracy. Excuse me. Sorry.
No, no, no. I mean, I was like, you know what? We should stop swearing because of the YouTube algorithm. And then I like immediately dropped that. But no,
I often want, and then you see like Brazil and like what they're doing to Bolsonaro, excuse me, Bolsonaro, and like they're investigating. They're gonna make him pay because Lula doesn't play around like
I know.
the
I know,
Democratic
man.
Party does. Yeah.
Exactly. I
I
mean, like,
sometimes wonder if Mike Pence hadn't stepped up and agreed to the coup, and it had gone farther, if we wouldn't have Trump this time.
what do you mean? Like, if they had been successful?
Yeah, because Pence didn't want to go through with it. That's why the
Right.
whole like hang Mike Pence thing was going
Right.
on. If he had like played ball and it had gotten worse, then maybe
Sure.
Trump would have had to answer for this, and we wouldn't have him now.
Sure. Right, right, right. Exactly.
That's the edible
Um,
kicking in.
no, I like that. I mean, look, I take it all the way back to the year 2000, but we could rewrite
Oh
2021
yeah,
as well.
100%.
The other
Oh, you
thing.
mean the successful coup?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, the successful Bush coup. But, that, the architects of whom are now in the Supreme Court. But
sure.
anyway, Democrats are definitely gonna have a plan in 4 years. So the documents case is the other thing. I love the documents case because this was the one where Trump just like wanted to keep souvenirs and love letters from Kim Jong Un, and also shit he could use to sell to like anyone who comes to Mar-a-Lago,
Yeah,
And he obviously, these are documents he kept in his bathroom and whatnot, and the ones that like,
he's
the
sentimental.
oh my god, he just like, is that a crime? Is it a crime to keep your old cards and your
You're gonna
notes?
confiscate my mommy's scrapbooks? Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Well, these are the documents, right? There was the raid on Mar-a-Lago because he was told, like, by the National Archives, which I guess has some bite there, that like you need to like you got to return these.
Yeah,
This obviously got
like
passed to.
militaristic librarians. Yeah.
Yeah. That got passed obviously to a Trump appointed judge, Eileen Cannon, who said that the entire appointment of a special prosecutor to look into this case was illegal on its face. So, blah, blah, blah. The documents case is also being dismissed. Smith moved to dismiss the appeals of the charges against Trump because he was in the middle of appealing it. Trump pled not guilty to 40 criminal counts related to handling of classified materials after leaving the White House. After again, Eileen Cannon dismissed the case in July over her finding that Smith was improperly appointed in his role. And part of this is also like maybe Smith is trying to save his ass because he knows that Trump is going to go after him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Oh, a lot of
know.
people are in ass saving mode. I would say most definitely.
100%. Yeah. I mean, if anyone from the Trump team is like combing Bitchuation Room for like how I think Trump is really sexy, and I want everyone to know like he's
hot.
like he's super hot.
Swole.
He's got a 6-pack. He's got like a 12-pack actually.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like the little like
The
C-word gutters I can't say. He's got like
crime gutters.
Yeah, crime. He's got the crime gutters on either side. So I've never said anything bad about Donald Trump. He's an alpha man.
I hate Joe Biden too.
I hate, yeah. Oh, we super hate Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So again, that is been dismissed. My favorite part of that, speaking of lower level lackeys, is that Smith also asked the judge in Trump's classified documents case that his appeal against Trump's 2 co-defendants in that case, Walt Nada and Carlos de Oliveira, be allowed to continue, meaning he wants to hold someone accountable.
Yeah.
He's going to still hold the poor sods who went along with the Trump classified documents.
This is literally the opposite of every like heroic law movie where they get the lower people to flip to take down the main guy.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuationroom. Do it.